Hello and welcome to this edition of HOM Entertainment. I'm Danneisha McDole, and joining me here is an AMDA, American Musical and Dramatic Academy alumni, who has done a phenomenal job performing in these incredible roles, including Catherine in Newsies, Jo March in Little Women, Belle in Beauty and the Beast, and now Bella in Jagged Little Pill. Coming to the Wharton Center, we welcome Allison Sheppard. Allison, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, it's a pleasure. Before we get started talking about this amazing musical, Jagged Little Pill, Allison, if you may share with us about you and your career journey and how you got to where you are today, please.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm originally from Southern California, and so I've been doing theater since I was like 6 years old. Um, and it's always been what I've wanted to do with my life. And so I went to college for it, and AMDA was like the greatest school in the world. What's really cool about it is all of the teachers are currently working in the industry. So you're taking from current Broadway directors, choreographers, performers, and so you're really learning the current industry. They also do a great job of helping you kind of express your individuality and lean into what makes you different and what makes you unique. And so through my education there, I feel like I really was able to figure out kind of who I am and what I bring to the table. And, I was auditioning, and Jagged Little Pill has been like a dream come true. It's based off of the Alanis Morissette album, which I grew up listening to nonstop. And so when I found out they were making a musical of it, it like became like tunnel vision. I was like, I have to be a part of this. And so it was an absolute dream come true to be here.
Awesome, that is amazing. I know in a way it's also character development too. Going into like these different roles is absolutely amazing.
Very much so. Yeah.
And also, I just wanted to say congratulations on your career journey because I know you'll honestly take off from there too. So this is just the beginning for you.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Absolutely. Now on to Jagged Little Pill, a Tony and Grammy award-winning musical. Very impressive. For those that have seen the musical and for those that are going to see it for the first time at the Wharton Theater, what can people expect? And if you could give a brief rundown about Jagged Little Pill, please.
Yes. Okay. So the story is about a just your typical American family, so you think. And they seemingly have absolutely everything together. Their son just gets into a great school. The mom has, is the PTA president, makes all the brownies and the cupcakes. Like everything is supposedly perfect. And then without giving too many spoilers, something happens regarding my character, and it kind of sends the entire family into a tailspin, and you start to realize that there are a lot more cracks in this idea of a perfect family. And through the course of the show, and something that we hope that people take away from it is that in exposing those cracks and in confronting the things that might feel like they should be secret or like you should be ashamed of them, or the things that make you different or less than what society may deem perfect, and embracing those things and talking about those things and living a more authentic life, you actually will have stronger relationships, a stronger sense of self, and an all-around better life.
That is incredible. And I know it really resonates with audience to this day, especially tackling on to certain topics. Like I said, don't want to give it away too. That we can also in a way bring awareness to it. I know it talks about when it comes to mental health and addiction. So this is incredible that it's coming here to the Wharton Theater.
Yeah, I feel really lucky. It's such an important story, and we do deal with a lot of heavier subject matter, like like addiction, like mental health, like sexuality. We talk about sexual assault. We talk about being a transracial adoptee. Like, so there's a lot of things that we talk about, but done in a way that is like makes everything very understandable, very relatable. There's humor intermixed into it. So it's not just, I always have to warn people, I'm like, we talk about a lot of heavy things, but it is a really fun show. Like
very creative, especially with the visuals and everything too.
Yes. And like this, it's a rock concert with like really funny moments and just so much heart. It's a show of heart and passion and authenticity, which I think is super important, now more than ever.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. And on to the next question. May you tell me a little bit about your character, Bella? What has been your favorite part about playing her role and how much that role means to you?
Oh man, Bella means everything to me. I'll start with that. This has been the greatest experience of my life. So the family that the show is centered on is the Healy family. Nick Healy is the son, and I am Nick's best friend. I want to go to art school. I'm like very artistic and free thinking, and I don't really conform to like this Connecticut wealthy
Yeah.
it's not really who Bella is. She doesn't come from as much money as everybody else does in the town. But she's like a brilliant artist and really funny and really awesome. And so then over the course of the show, how do I do this without spoiling the show? She goes through something very traumatic, and Bella's journey and the storyline for Bella centers around sexual assault. And so it has been one of the most like powerful and incredible experiences of my life to be able to tell such an important story and take it around the country. There's a moment in the show towards the end of the show where I sing a song called No, and everyone is standing on stage with giant protest signs to support sexual assault survivors.
Yes.
And like the chorus of the song, the lines are, "What part of no do you not understand?" And we're getting to sing this to an audience full of people, who have to sit and watch and confront and feel. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that relate to Bella and everything that she has been through. And so to be able to be kind of a vessel for everyone who might relate to her, and to get to stand up on stage and scream and sing out to, to people every night, to and to wake up and to see that this is happening right in front of you is one of the most like humbling and special things that I've ever been able to be a part of. So it's just a blessing, doesn't even begin to cover how grateful I am.
Absolutely. And even just from what I've read and seen so far, this musical sends out a strong message for everybody, and hopefully everybody can take with them, and also a great representation for each character that I'm sure someone in the audience can, like you said, resonate with them and relate to them in any way. So very excited for this to come out very soon.
I'm so excited.
And for those who have read the novel, because I know a lot of people aren't too aware that there is also a novel based on this, and listen to the music, what can they expect from the musical? Any surprises, a little bit more spoilers you could give out, please?
The cool thing about the album, there's the cast recording of this show, but then the album that came out like 20 years ago is such an iconic piece of music. And Alanis is such a timeless artist. And I think that what people resonate with about this album is it's filled with a lot of like angst and passion and fire. And, when she wrote this album, she was 19 years old, and she's, a young woman like standing up for what she believes in, which is much what this show is. The cast in general, like it's a very young group of people. The story centers on, all of these young high school age kids fighting for the truth and fighting to be heard, which is so relevant to our society now, and was the main core of what that album was 20 years ago. As far as the book is so good. So if you haven't read the book, anyone listening, read the book. But the book centers around, because it's technically a young adult novel, although like I just read it recently. I've had friends and friends that have read it, and like everyone loves it. But it's a young adult book. So it centers around the 5 main young people in the story. Whereas the musical follows everyone, but it like kind of the nucleus of our show is Mary Jane, who's the mother. So what's cool is if you see the musical and you like it a lot, you want to read the book as well, because you get it from multiple different points of views. So like there are things that the book goes into of like things that are happening that you don't get to see on stage. So it's a fun behind the scenes peek at like, what all you're going through when you're following Mary Jane to the supermarket in the musical.
Absolutely. So I know like diehard fans will be very excited to see this come to life through the musical. So I am very excited for that. And the last two questions, I think we can pull this in together. What will the audience take away from this musical, and why should everyone come see Jagged Little Pill?
All right. I think that people will take away from this musical that if you are able to confront the things about yourself that you might not be proud of,
Mhm.
you will end up finding more love for yourself, more compassion and love for the people around you and the people in your community, and a stronger sense of authenticity and honesty. And I think that's really important always, but especially in society nowadays, to be proud of who you are and to be proud of what makes you different and to be proud to stand up and say, I'm struggling, and that's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, as cliche as this saying is, like, it's okay to not be okay, and it's okay to wake up and be like, you know what, like, life is hard, things are difficult, but I can reach out and ask for help, and that doesn't make me weak. That makes me strong. And having a community and finding people that can help you does not make to ask for help is the strongest thing that you can do. And so I think this show does a really great job of showing that if you can do that, you'll like be able to open your eyes and realize exactly what you have around you, and that everyone around you is fighting their own battle, and everyone around you can use compassion and love and help, and so I think that's why it's an important show for everyone to see, because whether you're a parent, whether you are a grandparent, whether you are 15 years old and trying to navigate high school and all of the things that you see online, or all of the things that you see in school or on your phones, there's so much access to so much information.
Yes.
That Jagged Little Pill does a good job of bringing awareness to a lot of really difficult topics, but also showing you how to navigate them. And I think it's really uniting generations in a way of, like, we have a lot of causes that young people stand behind, and they're explained in ways that I think make older generations, or people that might not be up to date with all of the topics that we might discuss, helps them see it and understand. So I know our show brings about a lot of good conversations for mending relationships and healing, and also just enjoying like some really awesome music. Like it really is a rock concert, like with a lot of heart. So yeah, I think it shouldn't be missed. I'm a little biased, but
No, it's fine. Yes, no, that was a beautiful answer. And really what I took away from this musical, you will have a voice and feel seen, feel heard. And like you said, to open up conversations afterwards and to have everyone come and see the musical. So yes, absolutely. Thank you so much. Jagged Little Pill comes to the Wharton Center from Tuesday, January 31st through Sunday, February 5th. You can get your tickets at thewhartoncenter.com. Allison, thank you so much for joining me today, and continued well wishes on your incredible journey. We look forward to seeing you and the cast perform on stage very soon. It was a pleasure meeting you.
It was a pleasure meeting you too. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely, it was a pleasure. Thank you everyone for watching this episode of HOM Entertainment.